fucking dumb. I'm such a retard.
Ay, don't use that word.
Well, I can use it if I'm applying it to myself. Can I not?
I don't.
Exactly.
That's so wrong.
Would you
Slide
apply
it. It's okay for y'all to say the R word in that sense.
Okay, shut the fuck up, Otter.
if it's
Wow.
I know where you're going with it. Shut the fuck up. It's okay for Yodora to use it because he is one.
Hello. Yeah, it's better quality now.
I've been playing chess for like 2 hours.
Nice.
Oh, hell no.
Who's the guy with the charity?
That's me.
It's
what's up?
Hudson.
Yeah, that's me on a computer now. If you want to send me the link, mate.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. No one cares because you don't have the brain enough to like beat a robot. And when it comes to chess, so
I'm already told you, Mark. Mark, listen.
I'm listening.
Are you listening?
I'm listening.
You and I are gonna have a motorcycle date.
That's mate. That's honestly the whole reason I came on this earth was for a motorcycle.
at least have the balls to just like men though. They
See,
can.
Mark and I am getting closer
We
with
are.
one another.
Oh wait, you're a vegan, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, we just did a huge step back, mate. A huge step back.
What? Listen. Love doesn't have setbacks, okay?
It does with me, mate.
Listen.
I agree. That's why women have sex with men who eat meat. So
I thought we were gonna have a motorcycle wedding together.
I'm sorry.
Mark, the Extra Life game day is on November 5th, and our the teams are currently like inactive on the website. But as soon as they go up, they usually go up sometime in like September, October. So once the team pages go live again,
So
for people to start to fundraise through, I can send it to you.
So what to do is I have a chat. I actually donate so quite a bit, but I don't donate a lot through my account. So there will be there's an account called Butcher Fund. If basically it's an account I have my assistant do, and there's basically a shareholder money, and it gets split between all funds, and I've just put your name, if it have spelled it right, into the basically a group chat, and then when it does go, about a 5% cut should then go in. If you just want to message me, double check whenever it gets launched, and then I'll send it on.
Good deal.
That's the deal.
I'm
Then
just waiting for you to unmute me so you could have somebody like get some resistance strength towards you. But you
now
seem
that
like
we
you
have
always
solved that, I need to talk about Mark's and my edit. Well, not
no,
edit,
because
motorcycle
all I
date.
see is like feminine energy from you, bro.
You can't accept me because I'm vegan, right?
No, I can't accept you because you're pouring off feminine energy.
So Mark, you can't accept me because I'm vegan, right?
listen, right, mate.
And you have feminine energy.
It goes against my morals. I'm sorry.
Listen, Mark. Okay, listen. Fuck your morals. Fuck my morals.
Yeah,
How about
I'll make you a deal, right? I'll make you a deal right now. We will have that journey of a motorcycle if you right now go eat something that isn't vegan. Does it have to be meat? As long as it's not vegan.
Depends on who's on the bar, though. Like I mean, like who should be like the back seat, though. Like in motorcycle, that sounds really uncomfortable.
Mark, okay,
Not yet, though, but I will definitely
give me like 2 days to think about it. Okay.
Oh mate, I'm sorry, mate, but like that goes against my time. The
you need to
timeline.
give me like some time to think about.
I'll make you a deal, right? And a genuine note: how much money would it take you to eat a steak on camera live?
On camera?
Wait, utility increasing.
I'll donate.
About
I'll donate to that.
About $15,000.
15? That's cheap. Oh, okay, that's a winner.
Wait, Yafro. You should
have said 200,000. Okay, that's a winner right there. Oh, cheap.
No, $15,000 because $15,000 is 150,000 kroners.
Yafro, you should think about it, right? You should measure like how much damage a steak would cause, right? Financially wise, and then try to up it over an hour and donate that money to some animal rights charity.
Well, that's what I was gonna do. That's why I'm saying $15,000 because that's reasonable. If I said like $100,000, obviously that's not reasonable. But if I say like $20,000, that's more reasonable.
So $15,000 to buy out a vegan. Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, because then I can just donate that to vegan charities.
If I could control where the steak come from, I would do it for fucking like $10.
Yeah, I'll probably do it for like $20.
Vegan moment.
So Mark, do we
Dude,
have a deal?
I would eat
Wait,
human flesh
Mark,
if it was ethical.
Wait, Mark, do we have a deal?
To eat human flesh? No, I wouldn't. But however, though, if I had to eat like vegan food for like 5 years, let's
Oh
just go
no, Patty's here. Oh my god, not
at least like
Patty.
you have to give me like at least a good like maybe like
Oh,
$20,000
not
life.
Patty. Oh my god, why Patty?
I'm just saying, you're bringing attention to me while they're having a conversation, dude.
Patty, not Patty. Yeah, because I missed you. I really missed you.
Hey, but Kyle, they're having a conversation, man.
But it's between Garuda.
Also,
Yeah,
too, I don't
Garuda
cheat. I
doesn't,
don't believe in cheating, though. I don't need multiple wives.
You know what
So I know
happened?
that.
You know
There's
what
a reason why
happened?
I'm cooking vegan food because I don't hate
We
vegan.
were talking about charity, and then we got to AIDS.
Yeah, because you didn't let me finish my question scenario though, because it's not a scenario. I'm asking you a question though. Do you remember, or do you have too much brain fog to like remember when I was talking to you?
I have too much brain fuck.
Vegan brain fog.
fog.
Let's go.
Fog, or do you have too much like a rainbow splooge into your? Did you not swallow it and it hit your cerebral cortex and ricochet into your brain? I don't know.
Bro, what the fuck?
Bro, what, can you be serious, man? What the fuck?
I am being
No,
serious though. Okay, so
I've
let me
already,
ask you a
I've
question, though.
already told you. I have too much
Okay,
brain
no.
fuck to understand
No.
what you're saying right now.
What you
Okay,
saying,
that's
Big Man?
fine. I'm not gonna judge you if you get in your head bounce and I slam in the headboard. I'm not here to judge you on that. You do what you want to do. If not,
Thank
you just like get like
Can we
Iron
talk
Man
now?
fucking
Can we talk
helmet.
now about charities and then get to AIDS?
Yes. Okay. So if you want to do charity, you have to understand that a lot of people who have cancer is because the mother
If you wanna do a charity, you gotta understand a lot of people have cancer.
protect the mother and the babies in the womb, so you can have optimal kids. That's why I want to say, like, you could do whatever charity you want, though, but you have to understand that if you don't have the mother doesn't have adequate nutrition to feed the baby, then
I
have like
love
certain
you,
stuff.
Garuda. I love you. You know that. I love you. We
Yo,
talk
is he
about charity.
serious?
You
Is
We
he
for
talk,
actually serious?
we talk about charity, and it's like, well, if you want to do a charity, you gotta understand that most people that has cancer, it's like, what?
Yeah, because people who are born with cancer, like kids with cancer, is because it's a hereditary disease. So you have to like pinpoint it before they're born with the mother to make sure they have
Garuda,
adequate
it
nutrition.
has
Dude, Garuda,
nothing.
you're a fucking hereditary disease, bro.
Garuda, it has
Oh,
nothing.
it's a
Wait,
compliment.
let me just tell you this.
It's a compliment.
Since I have brain fuck, the mother's womb has
Oh,
nothing to do with cancer.
I'm not saying that she has cancer. I'm just saying if you don't develop it in the womb, you might have like a hereditary disease starting from that generation.
You don't develop cancer in the womb.
I mean, that's not necessarily true.
No, it is.
Because,
You don't develop
because-
cancer in the womb. You develop cell cancers that is not necessarily in the womb, but in the fetus's body, and when it gets born, which can develop to cancer.
Okay,
Well,
Like again,
you're saying
I
cell.
support. No, hold on.
When you say cell cancer, you're just saying cancer. So cancer cells.
no, it is.
I'm
It
not
is
speaking.
no,
The
because all your
identification.
cells,
Stop.
all
The
your cells
identification.
are
All of
cancer.
your cells. No, all of your cells
Yes,
are
they are.
not cancerous.
They are.
That's why there's a distinction between
How do you
normal
get
and
cancer,
cancerous
Patty?
cells.
Patty, how do you get cancer?
So cancer is typically like abnormal cellular growth. So for
Everyone has
example,
cancer.
we
How?
get that in
Why are you refusing to answer my question?
Kyle,
How do you
Kyle,
get cancer?
I am answering your
Everyone has
question.
cancer has birth.
No, you're saying what it
You
is.
could just
You're
let me
saying
finish.
what it is.
Kyle,
I'm asking you a very
Not
simple
food.
question. How do
thank
you
you.
develop
Look, okay,
cancer?
look, real shit. How the fuck do y'all just have the energy for this?
I don't know.
I'm
Oh my
literally
god!
trying to answer your
Like,
question,
Because
and you was
I
just
just
like
have to
not
meet.
letting me answer.
Why?
No, because you're explaining what cancer is. I'm asking you, how do you
Yeah,
develop
I am
cancer?
explaining what cancer is because that's literally
Watson,
the
is that
answer to the
whiskey?
question.
So you develop, since Patty doesn't want to answer
no, it's
that
tea.
question. You
I
develop
am
Yeah,
answering.
that's cool too.
you
Fine,
develop
it's
cancer.
fine.
You
I
develop
Get back to
am
me in
cancer.
10 minutes. It might be whiskey.
Sorry, I am
Let's
answering the
go.
question. I'm gonna finish answering the question, and you're gonna like stop being an asshole. That's what you're gonna do. So like,
Okay.
there's a reason why there's a distinction
Wait,
between
Watson, what are you
normal and
playing?
cancerous cells.
I'm about to play music that fits what's happening in this VC
Did you say?
right now.
Did you say
Let's
whiskey or whiskey?
go.
Circus music. Please be circus music.
Yato, you are just wrong.
Watson, you're.
Oh, what the? Oh, this guy is like fucking.
Your what's it called is kicking in. It's noise suppression is killing a music vibe, Watson.
Oh no, I'm streaming it.
Oh.
Oh, I have to turn the
It's a
fucking...
MIDI keyboard. It's playing through FL Studio, so yeah, I stream it. No, I don't. I mean, I'm fucking doing dumb shit. But if you want to hear dumb shit,
Yato, you are just wrong.
y'all are playing dumb shit.
I just want to provide this from cancer.gov. It has the gov on it, so you know that this is like the verifiable cancer source. In this source, they make a distinction between that of cancer cells and normal cells. All cells.
Patty is saying everything the government has ever said is true.
That's true. That is, I'm 100% saying that.
The best protection for babies having cancer is to make sure
Gov behind it, it's true.
the mama and make sure they have
I agree.
come out without cancer because we all have cancer. But the thing is, do you feed cancer cells or not?
We all don't have cancer.
We all have cancer.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
What the fuck, Garuda, are you even saying?
Cells, though, we all have cancer. It's a proven fact. Though you might get your. The thing is, you do not need to feed the cancer cells because the biggest way to feed the cancer cells is obesity. Then you get cancer. That's the biggest issue. And it doesn't matter if you eat meat or like stuff like that. There's things just to like depress the cancer. But at the end of the day, we all have cancer, but we just cannot prove cancer cells. Just like how we all have THC in our body. But the thing is, like, only way to activate get us like euphoria, just like catnip for humans.
Like I said, cancer you get from normal cells that refuse to die, which means they become cancer cells. But originally, they were normal cells. So, when you have a child that was born with cancer, it's not necessarily that they got cancer in the womb, but they developed cancer when they got out of the womb. Could be immediately after, could be a year after, could be even like 1 day after. You cannot get cancer in the womb. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work.
Well, no, I agree with you, but that's what I'm saying. That
I don't think I believe you.
the mom and the kid and the mom need a good survival from cancer because we all have cancer. So you might not have this certain type. You might not have this certain type of.
Listen to someone who is like, can someone mute Garuda? Do you think we should fucking listen to someone who is saying that everyone has cancer despite the fact that that is demonstrably untrue? So like the other thing is that Yataro, there have in fact been cases of fetus. It is
Patty, you're lagging. You're lagging. Patty, you're lagging.
I hear Patty just fine. I think you're
Even the
lagging.
government don't like you, so
maybe it was
let
me.
them
Hold
join.
on. Wait, maybe it was me. Hold on.
Yeah, so I find that incredibly close.
Say something. Hello?
Can I be heard?
I hear both of you just fine.
Yeah. A little bit delay, but I don't know.
So firstly, like there have in fact been cases of fetuses with cancers before they're born. It is extremely rare. It does not happen often. It barely ever happens. But the claim of fetuses don't get cancer is not true.
Okay, then I'm gonna say I didn't know that. Can I see some papers of it? Because I actually don't know that. I've never seen it.
Sure. And again, like I just want to make it very clear, there's a huge distinction between cancer cells and normal cells because all cells are not cancerous. Why? Because cancer cells don't repair themselves and don't die. Normal cells repair themselves and die.
Isn't cancer your body attacking?
Is when normal cells used to die.
Cancer is when your cells start engaging in extreme cell division. Not only do they like extreme cell division, but they don't die.
And refuse to die. So they multiply. So it is again still normal cells that refuse to die.
They are not normal cells because normal cells die.
Sometimes
if anything, that look, come on, there's a reason why when cells don't die and multiply, it's referred to as cancer. Otherwise, it would be referred to as normal instances, and it's not normal.
But
So
Patty,
cancer cells are cells that
Patty.
used to be normal. They could have at one point been normal, but they're not anymore.
Yeah, that's all I've been saying. It is when normal cells refuse to die, so they become cancer cells.
Yeah.
In simple terms.
Okay, but Yataro, that's not what you. Okay, you know what? I accept that this is what you're currently saying. I will accept this as what you
That's what
actually
I've been
meant. I'm gonna let it go.
saying this entire time. Whatever. So Garuda. Patty is saying that we don't have cancer, everyone. I would want your lecture from why she's wrong.
Well, if she want to talk all that big game, is she like a scientist or something?
Am I a
Yeah.
scientist? Correct.
No,
I am in fact a scientist.
No, she's not. Don't listen to
I
her.
am. I am in fact a scientist.
She's
What do
not.
you
Don't listen to
science?
her.
What do you science, Patty? I don't know if I believe you.
Agriculture. So I do the science of agriculture.
I don't believe. Don't listen to her. Garuda is the one and true only scientist in here. Garuda, tell us how cancer works and why
Patty
we all
doesn't
have
even
it.
have.
Above us all.
Because you have to go deep down to the cells. If you don't have your cells, because some cells are dormant, that's what we call hereditary. So if you have a predisposed problem with like cancer or predisposed stuff like heart attack, you have to like try and escape that because it is predisposed. Because after all, we came from one source, a male and a female, regardless of how you do it.
True.
So if I run away
Garuda,
from
can I just
cancer,
ask?
I can do that.
Garuda, can
No,
I
let
just
me finish.
ask?
Let me finish.
Garuda.
So let me finish. So when it comes down to the cancer cells, you have to understand that you cannot have like dormant cells in there. You have to make sure that you prevent yourself from being cancerous. And there's multiple ways to be cancerous. The biggest one is obesity.
Okay,
But there's
so
also
Garuda, can I just ask you one thing?
There's a lot of ways to have obesity.
But Garuda, can I just ask you one thing? Because you said you need to escape it. How do you escape? Do you run?
In my mind, maybe I'm not like I know the first part, so I like to
So
actually.
you're telling me if I go out, if I have cancer and I just run, I'm escaping my cancer?
Yeah, you leave the cancer cells flow behind you like a sort of cape, and then they just like they feather off on the end. Yeah, it's a good way to escape cancer.
No. You wouldn't feather off. You would tether off and die from cancer. What I would recommend you is to exercise and make sure you eat whole food and stay away from like processed food, like stuff, and make
True.
sure.
I'm gonna go shit because me shitting is more interesting than what you're saying, baby.
Bruh.
No, you have to go poop because you had too much vegetables and the fiber is gonna destroy your gut. You have to go. If not, you're gonna poop.
What?
And you can't clamp that hard though. It has to come out though.
Oh, okay, this went somewhere wild.
Yeah, I don't know why we're discussing his
Everyone
bathroom
poops
habits.
other than you though.
Okay.
No one poops other than you.
Yatara, what you're talking about cells is, I mean, you're talking about DNA, which I guess DNA is kind of like a cell, and I guess in a way it is a cell, but DNA, like cells aren't like dominant and recessive. DNA, like your chromosomes, your phenotypes are what's like dominant and recessive. That's what kind of determines that. Huh?
The most impactful thing you could do for your DNA is your food. Simple as that.
Okay.
So if you don't know anything about DNA, you should look it up before you say something like that.
So I don't know. Wait, I didn't say anything about food, right? And I certainly haven't like necessarily insulted you.
No, you talked about DNA. I told you.
I don't know why you're trying to insult my credentials. I haven't insulted yours. All I said prior, right? All I said prior was, hold on. All I said prior was, should we listen to someone who is saying things like everyone has cancer? Those are things that I'm not sure that we should just like listen to instead of, I don't know, like something else.
Okay, well, listen to someone else. They could feed you pills. I don't work for Big Pharma, so congratulations.
I didn't say you work for Big Pharma, so I don't know where that comes from.
Okay, so how do you cure cancer?
How do you cure cancer? I have no idea. You should ask the people who are trying to cure cancer.
What accelerates cancer in the human body?
I do know you can't cure cancer using food. That's not how cures work.
I never said to cure cancer using food. I say like you need to be the most optimal place from the mom's womb. I have to be more specific from the mom's womb to the kids, so they could prevent themselves from getting cancer. And you have to actually worry about the food they eat. So kids who have cancer is something that's called hereditary, hereditary disease over generations. That's why
kids
cancer.
Kids who are
Hmm?
born and have cancer at 6 years old. Is that like some claim that it's the parents' fault that they didn't do something right?
I don't blame the parents. You made that up. I'm saying we should investigate when the kid's in the womb because there's a lot of factor. Who knows what they drink? They probably ate some bunk food. They probably like drinking like bad water. There's like so many layers to
I've
this.
never. Where's your evidence that like I don't know, drinking some fucking apple juice gives kids cancer or makes kids have cancer?
Not my claim though, but what kind of apple juice? Apple juice squeezed from like an apple, or like concentrate apple juice with like 1,000 ingredients in there that made in the lab. That is not good. That's like
I've
giving you
never seen a
diabetes every
jug
time
of
you do
apple
that.
juice with 1,000 ingredients. So can you provide evidence that the ingredients within apple juice, when processed down and put into apple juice as apple juice concentrate,
It depends.
that causes cancer or is correlated with rates of cancer?
I never made a claim, but what kind of apple juice are you talking about though? You made a claim though,
I feel like
so are you saying like
I didn't make a claim. I'm asking you questions because you've made a claim, and I feel like you're kind of trying to get out of it by
so? What claim did I make
saying I
though?
didn't say this
What
and I
claim did I
didn't
make?
say that. But the inference is there. So the inference you're making is food somehow contributes or causes or is correlated with cancer, and I want evidence for the claim that, for example, like kids, because they eat a fucking I don't know like juice to go or Capri Sun or some apple juice, their cancer rates are correlated with this.
I never made a claim, but however, though, Capri Sun is delicious. However, it is like nothing more than you punching like a little straw in there for pure kid
Why are you
diabetes.
telling me how to drink Capri Sun right now?
I never told you how to drink Capri Sun. I told you like Capri Sun is
blocks away area.
Text more to find out about our Amber Alerts premium.
Oh, guys, everyone be quiet. SD's here.
It looks like SD finished walking his dog, guys.
Well, I've been here
Charlie,
for the last like 20 minutes or something.
Charlie,
So.
I want you to do
SD,
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to No one likes you. Let me speak to Charlie.
What?
Charlie. My lovely Charlie.
Yes.
I will murder you.
Why?
Because you are not Drew's #1 fan. I am, and that's just an unspoken rule.
Are you sure you're okay to be here, SD? I don't want you to be scared.
I'm really terrified, man. Like, honestly.
I don't know.
Why are you scared, ST?
Maybe you should take a break.
Wait, but just so we can stop spinning the
Trysten, what is going on here? What
Yeah,
do you have an
Cuddles is right.
SD scared.
Yeah, because
Why are you
I
scared?
didn't want to misrepresent you, ST, because I thought that your job was like involved in like basically killing some of the animals involved, or that, at least animals that would be considered crop deaths.
No, it's not my job. I've been like very clear about this over the last 5 years. It's not my job to do that. I don't get paid to do it.
Oh, okay. Oh, you just
So
have
you're
to kill
doing
animals
it-
involved in these things. Okay.
Okay, I'm a little confused. What's going on? Is SD okay? Do we call 911 for them?
No, well, I mean,
Could you just
it'd take him
be
a while to
quiet?
get here. Yeah, can you shut up?
Oh, Lizzie, I swear to God, no one was fucking talking to you, so I don't know why you.
Yeah, I didn't ask you. Just shut up, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, I already muted Ian. So.
Oh my God, bro. Lily, I'm gonna need you to stop, Lily.
Yeah,
I'm just curious and worried for SD because I was just told, SD, it's okay. Do you need a break? And I think that's a normal person. What a normal person would do, Lily. And I don't know why you're angry at me.
Did you not pick up on like the sarcasm?
Piggy, please shut up.
I did.
Oh yeah, you can always just mute.
I could, but I'm not actually angry. I just want to start trouble.
You don't like me when I'm angry.
Can we just get to like the substance of the discussion or something?
Well, I was waiting for you to calm down because you said you were terrified.
Yeah, I am just like really shitting.
Yeah, so I'll probably just wait until you feel better because I don't want to like
probably
make you
comes
uncomfortable.
across in my voice, right? How scared I am. I mean, I'm like bound to be quivering on the mic. Yeah.
I don't know. I just want you to be comfortable. So like, you take all the time you need. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I've had all the time I need.
Just to kick things off,
Get
SD,
to
what
get
is
to
it
it.
that you do? Like, do you like how like what are the animals that you kill? Is it like hunting? Can you just clarify that at least so I can understand, or maybe the room can understand?
Yeah, sure. I'll happily clarify it for the room, although I don't understand why you wouldn't be aware of it, because I'm in like 1,000 recordings saying the same thing. The animals
I'm
that
sorry,
I
we don't listen to rumors.
Oh, Piggy.
Clarify to the room how you kill animals.
Sure, right? The animals that I kill are primarily rabbits and pigeons, and I do that for crop defense against rabbits mostly, because you have to kill some rabbits to keep the population level to an acceptable level, so that there isn't too much destruction going on. It's not about eliminating all rabbits and all pigeons. You just have to kill some sometimes so that it's down to an acceptable level. If you didn't do that, then it's obviously going to follow that because rabbits, and not quite so much pigeons, but rabbits multiply at such a fucking rate that they will decimate all the crops and there'll be nothing left for human consumption, which is the intended purpose of the crop. Okay, that clear enough?
How do you kill them?
I shoot them.
So how many do you have to shoot?
Well, that's going to depend on the land that you're shooting across. It's going to depend on the population. You know, if you've got a massive sort of influx or population boom, then you're going to have to kill more some years than other years.
So I take it you're growing the crops. You're a farmer.
No, I'm not a farmer. Where did you get that from?
Why are you like? Whose crops are you defending then?
Local farmers, and occasionally I have to do it with the crops that I grow for my own consumption. Not quite so often with what I grow for myself, but it's mostly for other farmers.
And they don't pay you? They're just like, hey, come kill rabbits on my land?
Yeah. Literally, yeah. It's also a legal requirement here in the UK. Now, I appreciate you may be from the US or somewhere else, but it's actually law. It's written down in law, and I can provide you a citation for that. Landowners are legally required to control populations of rabbits on their land. And the reason that it's a legal requirement...
I think we have some laws like that here.
Yeah, you may well do. But the reason that it's a legal requirement is because rabbits, in particular rabbits, are such a... like, there's such a force upon crops, you know, due to how they breed, the rate at which they breed, the amount of damage they can do. That's why it became a legal requirement. Now, I'm not saying that because it's a legal requirement, therefore we should do it, but that's the reason that it became a legal requirement.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I think there are laws of about that, like similar to that about plants and noxious weeds growing on private property around where I live as well.
Yeah, like Japanese knotweed, for example. That's a fairly good analog.
So is your so your thing is that you eat plant-based other than these rabbits that you kill?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you'd want to call it plant-based. Like, it's up to you. There are vegans who insist on calling me a vegan, and you can find discussions where vegans are calling me that.
You kill animals, so I'm probably not gonna that's not gonna be me.
Yeah, that's fair, and I actually agree with you on this. I think that killing animals and like eating, I mean, I could go into graphic detail, but I don't think there's any need. Killing and eating animals, that's not a vegan action. So I've always been very consistent about rejecting the claim that what I do is somehow vegan. I don't accept that.
Yeah, so I'm not going to make that claim, but are someone made it sound like you claim that the only animal products you eat are from this activity. Is that?
Ich will Fleisch, es wäre gut tasty, yeah, it's very good tasty.
Can you stop spamming whoever that was? What were you saying, SD?
I said yes, that's correct.
Okay, so you're like completely plant-based aside from these rabbits. Let's ignore the pigeons for now, and just like let's only talk about the rabbits, just to make it simpler. So like when you go out to eat, you always order plant-based?
I don't go out to eat.
You've never been out to eat?
Well, I mean, I have in the past, but not since I became involved in this topic. And you're talking, I don't know, a good 5 years or something like that.
By this topic, what do you mean?
The veganism and animal rights topic.
I see. So, I mean, do you go?
You're not gonna find pictures of me like at the Ritz eating a steak.
I eat Fleisch, I eat Fleisch, nur Fleisch, Gemüse. Ich Fleisch, yeah. Fleisch and fish is very good for my Gesundheit. Yeah, yeah. It's very good.
Don't
It's
even
very
know
good.
what this person is saying. But...
They're just spamming. So like, do you go to like a friend's for dinner, and eat plant-based there?
Nope. I don't really go to a friend's for dinner.
I
get invited.
nugget is very tasty.
This is just impossible.
Yeah, they're muted now, so they're done.
Okay, good. I mean, I don't really... It's not my thing. It's more of a... I prefer to just do my own thing kind of thing. I'm not into, like, going out for dinner or something like that. I mean, you won't find any evidence of me being at, like, a restaurant or at somebody else's barbecue, you know, anything like that, because I just can't be bothered to do it.
I see. So why bother to eat these animals that you're killing? Why not just like leave them for scavengers or something?
Well, I could do that. It's an option, but I don't know what's to gain by doing that. It's like, you know, if I found I don't know, pick something like a pork sausage in somebody else's bin. Sure, I could just throw it into the field opposite where I live and let something else eat it, or I could eat it. Either way, it's getting eaten. I don't really see what's gained by, you know, throwing it to the wind or whatever.
Well, you have other options, like because you can eat beans, or whatever, and maybe the scavengers like don't really have other options, right? Like they're kind of relying on these carcasses to survive.
So your concern is for the carnivorous animals, then?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if all scavengers are carnivorous. Like,
no,
I know
not all of them are, but that's what you're suggesting I should do. Right? If I were to find a stray sausage out in the wild, right? You're suggesting that rather than I eat it, I should just, you know, toss it somewhere so that anything else can eat it, and I don't see what's gained by that. But,
yeah, I wasn't suggesting that you do that. I was asking why you don't. And I guess that's
I told
a pretty good answer because it doesn't benefit you.
Well, it's because there's nothing to gain for anything. Like, I mean, we could throw it in the bin or something. We could lift a manhole cover and throw it down a sewer, but I don't see what's gained by that. Even for your position, I don't see what's gained by that.
Well, I mean, would you see a benefit to the scavenger ecosystem?
It's not something I'm particularly interested in. I mean, they seem to do pretty well for themselves already.
Yeah, but wouldn't they do better if they had access to the carcasses you were creating?
Maybe they would. Would you rather I do that? I mean, I can just shoot the rabbits.
No. I mean, I would rather
like
you not kill the rabbits at all, and we find like another solution to this problem.
Okay, cool. What's the other solution that you've got in mind?
I do not know. Can we build fences? Can we feed the rabbits contraceptives? I don't know.
Maybe you could feed the rabbits contraceptives. This is like a gene drive thing, which I've been through many times before.
Wait, gene drive? What do you mean gene drive?
Yeah, you'd want to like, make them infertile.
My extra patties.
Why are they unmuted?
Extra patties. It's like
y'all could literally just ban them, and you choose not to.
No,
they were Nuggets very good for my.
To be fair, I don't think that was Trysten's fault.
Nuggets very good. Nuggets very good tasty.
How did you get unmuted?
They left and rejoined.
Welcome to
Is
Vegan
that all
World.
it takes? Is this server
No one
set up
gets
that
banned.
badly?
I like McDonald's. Nuggets is very good tasty.
Zoom.
It's true. Banned on the server.
Zoom, are you
Like,
like, are you
maybe
able to
good,
moderate
on
that? Like,
stage.
are you a mod?
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm trying to
with
get
cold
someone's attention.
fish. Fish is very.
They only allow
Very
vegans to
good.
moderate, so kind of out of luck there.
Pants are cringe. Pants are very
You could be a mod though, SD.
cringe.
Well, no, I mean,
Being a
Trysten,
vegan.
Trysten
So
doesn't
I
think
just
I'm a vegan, and I agree with Trysten on that.
I just locally muted this person.
It's the chess
Yeah, I
guy,
did
right?
too.
So he has the
Oh.
role now
Nuggets
that
are very tasty.
Yeah, can't you just ban?
Okay, but
I don't know how
why
you
not-
guys
why
manage
not
to have
just
any
ban the
serious
profile?
conversations on it.
Why not just ban the profile?
It's Vegan World.
What'd you say,
Patty.
SD?
so there's
What's going on?
Hi.
I just said I don't know how.
I can't. I'm sorry, Beyond.
Yeah, I'll be quiet.
Oh,
Sorry.
so there's a role. So like, people can, if you issue a voice mute, then they might be able to bypass it by leaving the server, rejoining, and joining the VC. But there's a persistent role that I put on him, so he shouldn't be able to do that anymore.
Thank
Nice.
you. Appreciate it.
Good. So where were we? We were talking about alternative solutions. So yeah,
I
like
was
whether or
asking
not.
you about what the alternative solutions are. That's what we were.
Yeah, and my answer is I don't know. So I think like a more important question is, should we pursue alternative solutions? In that, like, I guess my question is, do you think it would be better to not kill them, to like deal with their, to deal with the problems they create, humanely instead of killing them?
Well, you're like, the inclusion of the word humane there is a little bit problematic because it depends what you mean by it. But if you have a better solution, which we can actually implement, I'm always all ears for one of those.
Okay, so you agree that it would be better to not kill them, like if we had a feasible alternative.
If we had a feasible alternative, yeah, I've already. Jesus fucking Christ! Like, I've already said in previous debates, if you can eliminate this problem, I'll just go vegan. Right? I've said that. I'm on record.
I'm vegan.
Saying
I'm
that.
vegan. I love vegan.
This is ridiculous.
Please don't interrupt.
I'm
Turn
sorry.
him down. I have him turned down. Just turn him down, SD.
Yeah, but I'm having to turn a bunch of people down. I mean, like, why can't the mods just sort this out? Like, we're having a civil discussion, and it's kind of.
I'm loving McDonald's.
Beyond, are you in the room? Can you do something about this?
Oh, I'm back. What'd I miss? I was gone for like 10 seconds.
No,
I didn't hear anything you said, to be fair. Oh, you were gone for 10 seconds? Sorry, I thought you said you were going for 10 seconds.
Oh. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess, like, if you think, like, if you're saying that you'd prefer a alternative, like, I don't know what else there is to convince you of. Like, I hope that you would, like, push for an alternative and, like, keep your mind open, sort of, to different things that can be tried.
It's always open, but, like, I mean, what are your suggestions?
I mean, I think I only have the two. I'm not any sort of expert on this. So my two suggestions were fences and contraceptives.
Well, I can tell you that fences does not work, right? And we could have a long discussion about why that doesn't work. But what was your second one? Contraceptives?
Well, is it because they dig under the fence or something?
It is because they dig under the fence in the case of rabbits. But even if you could Like, I mean, the thing with, like, you could put fencing somewhat underground. I mean, it goes somewhat underground anyway, right? But only by a couple of inches. You could say, well, why don't we, like, make the fencing go further underground, right? That's a thing that we could actually do. We could sort of encase the fencing in concrete that's underground. That'll stop a lot of it. But, I mean, who's going to pay for this? Who's going to actually do the work, right? The reason we're not seeing something like that happening, even though it is technically possible to do it, like, it's just not a likely scenario. So until
the reason it isn't likely is because people don't think like you and I. They don't think that animals' lives have any value, and they don't prefer a more humane alternative, right?
Well, I mean, that word humane has come up again, and like we might end up needing to discuss what that word means.
Well, yeah, okay, fine. I should use something else. How about less cruel?
Well, I don't think there's anything cruel about what I do, because I would say that cruelty involves like a period, a time period of cruelty, and I would argue that the way that I deal with it doesn't really involve a period of suffering, because I would say that there's no time to experience the suffering.
Yeah, okay, because you kill them instantly, fine.
Yeah.
But they don't want to die, right? They would prefer to keep on living. And so
yeah, I mean, I'm actually very sympathetic towards this argument, and I know a lot of people are not. I'm even willing to grant that they do want to continue living. Like, that's something that not a lot of people on the non-vegan side are gonna grant. I'm happy to grant it because I think that's probably true. But like, until a more like, you know, more aligned with your position model that we can actually do is presented, then we continue under the current model.
Yes, and you were saying that transition sort of not likely to happen, and I was just explaining. God damn it! Can you block someone's camera feed?
I hate when
I
people
can't.
do
Yeah,
that,
you
where they
can.
turn
That's
on their
right,
cameras.
just disable video.
It's just like nothing.
It's the guy on the bike. Like, he's okay. I think he doesn't know what's going on.
No, he does. He's a fucking douche.
Alright.
The fuck you say to me, you fucking bitch?
Actually, just get that block done.
I mean, I did, but it doesn't work.
It's on my screen too, but I'm not a mod in here, so there's nothing I can do about it.
Trysten, if you don't want to say, just right click on his name and say disable video.
And say what? Right click and then what?
On his name.
So I could remove his trust perms, which would remove his streaming perms. I mean, if it's like for the purposes of opening a discussion on the topic, like, or education, like that, like that's one thing. If it's like for the purpose of just trying to like trigger people or whatever, or show gore, then that's like not acceptable.
I don't feel like he's actually interfering. I mean, he's just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just irritate me personally, so that I'm just trying to block them, and I can't. I don't have a disable video option.
Is it really like that big?
How?
Yeah, it's just a motorcycle thing. But out of curiosity, Trysten, Outer did say you were a utilitarian. Is that true? Because if so, that'll explain some things.
I mean, I don't really want to get into my meta ethics, but yeah, I mean, let's say sure, I'm utilitarian.
Utilitarian's a normative ethic, but all right, that's fine.
Fair.
Well, I mean, like, I'm happy to like yield the floor to other people who want to discuss with Trysten or whatever. But like, are we done, or did you have anything else to ask? Because
No, I mean, yeah, I don't think we were quite done because.
Okay, cool.
You're saying that like it's not feasible, and until we have a feasible alternative, we're going to continue with the status quo, and that's sort of like just a description, right? So I guess I would see if I could try to get you to acknowledge that getting closer to having that feasible alternative is you personally desiring it, right? Like you said that you would prefer this alternative, and like let's just say for the sake of argument,
I didn't say quite that. Right? I didn't say I would prefer it. I said I'd go along with it.
Oh, okay. So, like, do you think it would be better to not kill them, to like build a fence, if the price wasn't an issue?
In an ideal world, but I mean, I also think it would be, better if people occasionally didn't get hit by lightning and stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, of course, but like, we don't need to talk about an ideal world to discuss your ideals, right?
Sure.
So, like, I'm just asking if like, what would be a better world, not necessarily ideal, a one where you're killing the rabbits because it's needed to protect the crops, or a world where the rabbits don't need to be killed because the crops are protected some other way. Like, which one's better?
Well, I mean, I don't get to bring about that kind of world. It's not something that I
Okay,
have
I mean,
control
that's
over,
kind of
but
why
I'm going to answer your question. I know you think that wasn't an answer, right? But sure, in an ideal world, I think it would be better if nothing had to die, unless you want to get into some sort of afterlife stuff, in which case I'll change my position. But sure, it would be like probably aligning better with my ideals if nothing had to be killed for the survival of something else.
Wouldn't you say that then you prefer the alternative, like
if that's how you want to word it? I mean, nothing turns on that for me, so sure, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that I said that earlier and you pushed back against it, so I want to make sure that I'm understanding.
Yeah, it's just I think I didn't like the way you phrased it, but sure. I mean, like, we can go with that. Like, what do you want me to say? A world where I don't have to kill any animals in order to preserve the crops, that's a better world. Sure, where do we go from there?
We go to actually getting there, right? Because if you do prefer that, then, like, if you see some opportunity to push the world in that direction, then you should take that opportunity.
Like what you're doing, presumably.
I mean, yeah, I guess in the sense that I'm trying to talk
you mean no, right? You're not doing anything towards that. Or if you are, then I will stand corrected. But what are you doing towards that?
Oh, like, okay, so to prevent the crop dust from rabbits? I mean, yeah, I guess the only thing I really do about that is advocate for animals, right? I try to get people like you to see animals as deserving of life, which I think you already did, like, before we even started talking. And the more people that think that way, like, if all the farmers that ask you to come out and kill rabbits on their land felt the same way as you and I, then this would be a different situation, wouldn't it? Because they would be more interested in the alternative solutions to this problem.
Yeah, but that's just saying if everybody agreed with me, then things would be different.
That's exactly what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
But it doesn't have to be everybody, right? It could be like half the farmers. If half the farmers are into it, maybe that's enough to start a contraceptive program.
Well, I mean, I have issues with that. I don't really want to. I mean, we can go there. I'm not trying to avoid it, but that's like a slightly separate topic. But I mean, like, what farmers have you tried to convince to go in that direction, and what explanations of the? I mean, the second part's going to be redundant because you haven't asked any farmers. But if you had asked farmers,
no, we talk to farmers all the time on here. I mean, I consider you a farmer if you have your own.
What do you say though?
Huh?
What do you say to the farmers? In terms of what I do you advocate that they, like, dig deep fences and encase them in concrete and then... I mean, we haven't even talked about the birds yet.
Not specifically.
Right, well...
Yeah, I am leaving the pigeons out, and that definitely is, like, a harder pest control
Yeah, no, we agreed to do that. I'm not saying that you're dodging anything, but, like, that's like, sort of a second component that I could bring in. I'm not bringing it in right now because I don't want to ambush you with it, but... I mean, we haven't even dealt with the rabbits yet. Like, who's going to pay for all the fencing?
Right. Well, people that care, right? Because, like, the situation now is those farmers...
So that's going to be nobody, pretty much.
What? What'd you say?
I said that's going to be pretty much nobody.
Right, but
in practical terms, right?
That's the problem, right? Nobody cares. If nobody cares about the victims, then nothing's going to be done to help those victims.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so I mean that's exactly the issue here. And I'm saying if those farmers felt like you and I, if they felt like it would be better to not kill the animals, then this would be a different situation.
If they felt that way, sure.
Right. Right, and so
But they
I
don't
guess,
feel that way.
right, and so I guess maybe my next question is, do you see that as a problem? Like, do you think that maybe they should feel that way?
To be honest, I don't really think that my shoulds or oughts or my personal preferences are ever likely to affect them in my life.
Okay, well, the likelihood isn't important, right? We're talking about
so
odds.
you want to talk about like purely in principle, right? Is that it?
Sure. I mean, because we have to iron out the principles before we can figure out the praxis.
Yeah, that's fine, but like I mean, on that note, I think that like it's not like people aren't aware that like if they go to McDonald's and buy a cheeseburger, the cows are dying or something.
No, most people are. Most people are actually ignorant.
You think that most people when they buy a beef burger or a hamburger, I think a lot of people call it, you
Yes.
think that they're not sure whether
Well,
there's a dead animal in there?
where I'm from, no, it's not that they're not sure. And like if you ask them the right way, they'll say, "Oh yes, it comes from a cow." But they don't actually think about it. They don't understand that a living being was killed.
It's not on their minds all day, every day. I wasn't trying to say that. But
No,
like,
I mean they don't even understand. Like a typical meat eater doesn't even understand that a sentient being is killed.
Where's your evidence?
Well, you'd need to take the sentient part out at least for the time being, but like they know that a living creature at least was killed for that. And if you want to say that like no, they don't know that, like they don't know bacon comes from pigs, I'm very skeptical of that claim.
No, they can recite that factoid to you, but they're not connected to the reality of it.
I apologize, SD. Where is your
Oh,
evidence?
you're
for that?
fine.
I mean,
Where's your evidence for
Who are you asking?
Farmer Patty, it's your mom. That's my evidence.
Wow, that's what an answer. So
Yeah, cool story.
allow us to like recognize you're not being a very good interlocutor. So like, where's your evidence for the claim that people just don't understand that the food?
I already told you it's your
Please
mother,
stop.
Farmer Patty.
The
Yeah, no,
food-
I already
the
told
food in
you
which
it's
they're
your
getting-
mom.
The food
So-
in which they're getting.
To be fair,
Can you
Tristan,
please stop?
that's not really
Thank
a very
you.
good answer.
Yeah, that's not.
Right,
It's not. It's really not like necessary. So
That's
can
really
you
cool,
provide
Patty.
evidence
That's really
for-
cool.
Uh-huh.
So
Can you
SD,
provide
you and I
evidence
were
for
talking
thinkable
about
or
whether or not
can
it
you
would be
hear?
better.
I
whether or not it
can't
would be
do
better.
anything about. I
That's
can't
really
do
cool,
anything
Patty. Thanks
about
for
the other
interrupting.
people.
Was that really necessary? Actually, I'm not interrupting, right? I explicitly
Yeah,
said,
thanks.
I'm sorry, SD, right? He allowed me to have the floor, and I'm asking a very clear question. Where is the evidence that people just don't know that the animal or the food on their plate came from a living animal?
Your mom.
Yeah,
So
that's not
okay,
a very good answer, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I mean,
not a very good answer. So
I'm sorry you feel that way. Maybe talk to your mom
anyone-
about it.
Should anyone speak to you if like so like I don't know, like should anyone speak to you if we know that if
I
you're
don't know.
going to be-
I don't know,
if
Patty. Go
you're
ask
going
your
to
mom.
be- if you're going to be presented with challenge about a like very serious claim, that your answer is like to just do insults.
Yeah. Ask your mom about it.
Okay,
So that-
like
that-
SD, do you really want to talk to this guy?
No, that claim could just be tossed out, right? We could just
Yeah, like
even
it could just be
disregard that he
tossed
said
out,
that.
right? Yeah, exactly.
Well, I
But,
could
mean,
suggest that
like,
that's what you do.
That's it's kindergarten language at that point. Like seriously, dude.
That's so
like,
cool. Yeah,
I'm
that's
very
so cool, Patty.
interested.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
am
so
very-
much. I really appreciate your contribution. Yeah,
Yes,
that's really
yes,
cool.
I'm very
Yeah.
sorry that your feelings are hurt. So can you please provide evidence for like people? And I assume like you live in the United States just like I do. But,
I
like,
assume
in
your
the
mom.
USA
God damn it, guys! I gotta go. I'm gonna be back when I get on the bus, so I'll be back
Did
in
I
a.
trigger this guy like that bad? Like, are you okay? So
Ask your
like,
mom.
I don't know. Look,
I will be sure to
maybe
ask
he
him.
really does have to get on a bus. Like, I don't know.
It's
No,
do I
yeah,
trigger
he-
men on the server that bad?
He's just let him get off his bus. Yeah, I mean, look, that can just be thrown out. Whatever he said right there, like, but don't allow him to argue based off of something he hasn't substantiated, right? So
That just seemed. It's like I apologize, SD, and if I ruined your
No, you're fine.
conversation, I apologize.
It's no worries.
That just seemed like a really serious claim, right? Like I'm pretty sure that from there, the argument was going to be like they haven't seen like the things that vegans and activists have seen at farms, which would have led to a conversation about are those videos like actually informative?
I mean, it could be the case that, you know, like he was saying, that they haven't really thought very deeply about it, and that it's just not, like, I think I said this actually, that it's not really on their minds when they buy a hamburger or something at McDonald's. You know, they buy a Big Mac. They're not thinking about the cows that died for that. I think that's probably true.
I think that's fine. Like, that's 100% fair, right? Like, you could totally say people. I think that's a like far better claim. Like, you could totally say people aren't like deeply thinking about.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I said.
Yeah, exactly. They're not like having like this philosophical conversation about the ethics of eating meat or like where exactly this animal came from and what farm it came from. They're just buying it. Like, it's just an experience in which it's extremely normal. That's basically it. It's just normal. So like, I want to know that Americans are not aware that this is like who is not aware.
Yeah, that's what I was skeptical of. Like he did make and like I'm not trying to, you know, talk about him behind his back or whatever, but even though he did that to me, but
at best there's no philosophizing about it. But people know that it's an animal, it's a dead animal. It was once alive, it lost its life so that this food can be. At best they're not philosophizing.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, you can blow this off as anecdote, which I know the vegans are probably going to do anyway, but, like, I know many people who have kids, and whilst it's going to be true that they're not thinking too deeply about what's going on, they know that it, like, if they have a cheeseburger or something, it comes from animals. And where I live, granted, it's a rural location. It's not like you know, big fucking metropolis or whatever. But
like my kids know that.
Yeah, exactly. Like the kids know that, you know, and why do they know? Because there's lots of television series like Field to Fork, and there's another one called something similar, something catchy like. You know, Farm to Plate or something like that. And then the parents, like, actually tell them where their food comes from. When they're kids, right, they don't care. They may grow up to care. And I don't have kids. I mean, Patty's probably more qualified to talk on this because she actually has kids. But, like, they're not really interested. All they're interested in is it tastes nice. Like, you know, we could, you know, go somewhere from this. But
I saw a British show where this guy, and I can't remember his name, but he's someone very popular in you guys' country. But he was showing the kids how they make chicken nuggets.
Gordon
Ramsay.
Ramsay.
He goes, no, it wasn't Gordon. But he goes and he takes a bunch of like giblets and stuff of chickens, and then he puts it in a blender, and the kids go ew. And then at the end, he fries it up and makes this really nice chicken nugget. And after all the kids saw, he looked at them with this chicken nugget and was like, now who wants to eat that? And all the kids raised their hand, and the poor guy looked like he wanted to die.
Yeah, but I think we're more interested in that conversation, because I think when he talks about like most people don't know, I think this comes down to shared value. And this is what I've been reading.
I'm going to take a leak. I'll be back in a minute.
It doesn't...
understanding of that, like, if vegans understood, you know, that these animals were a sentient being just like them, then instantly this innate moral sense or compassion would make them go vegan. And again, this would be a lot easier if they studied any meta ethics, but of course vegans don't do that, which is why I think it's like, yeah, non-vegans don't think that much about like the things that they do, but neither do vegans, right? Like he said, first of all, he said that utilitarianism was a meta ethic, which it is not. So that already tells me, it was already telling me there's no like cursory ethics. Which is
it never gets you. It never gets you to where you want it. It never gets them to where they want it to get, right? Because this could also just be an issue of not being informed or of education, right? And it's not the case that if people are completely educated in the way that a vegan thinks they should be educated, that they're still not going to say, okay, well, I'm still eating meat.
Right? You're only educated because you went vegan, but because you're not vegan, you clearly weren't educated enough. So therefore,
Yeah, but but I'm even saying that even if you were to be educated, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden this like shit like comes out and you become vegan. Like now you're just educated about exactly what happens, and you're like, okay.
Exactly, which is why I think you have to appeal to this like innate moral sense, this like foundationless principle, or maybe some intuition.
Just listening to this conversation is I noticed that he wants like he deeply wants SD to just talk about like his principles. So like you clearly have these vegan principles. Like I think that's what he like really wants to say, that SD has like these vegan principles. And if he just like supports that if he just like commits to those vegan principles and people logistics and realities of economics reasonable.
Yeah, but at least because honestly, even that conversation was way more productive. Because when it was just me and Mage Star, he tried to like do the weird thing where it's like, "Oh, what do you think veganism is?" And then I gave a general answer. It was like, "Oh no, this is not the one true definition." And then basically, it was one of those things where it's like, "Okay, well, once he gave me his definition, me and mostly Mage Star just kind of flipped the script because for him, veganism is about like not excluding animals, but for it just means using them at all for any reason." So I said, "Wait a minute." Yeah, that's where we go back to the circle. It's like, wait a minute, wouldn't filming like Dominion or any other film count as like using animals? And it's like it was one of those semantic things where it's like you have to like. That's why it's like
I think if
didn't like
someone's
semantic engagements.
Mage Star kind of seems like someone who's kind of semantic anyway. Like someone wishes to be semantic. Honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with being semantic right back. Especially if like they're willing to dabble in said semantics anyway.
Again, yeah, I mean,
think,
I can, but I usually am. But again, that's usually where I get to call the super sophist because people throw out terms like
Super
justify
sophist.
this that, and then I ask what they mean, and it's like, nope, I shouldn't be asking those, and it's like, okay, well, I guess not.
Wait, I just want to check. I'm really sorry to cut through you guys, but I think Tristan's back.
Yeah.
Trysten, is it possible for you to like? I'm actually interested in any evidence in which like affirms the view that like, and let's just like we could cap it at Americans, we can cap it at the West. Specifically like because you live, I assume like you live in the United States. So, like, is there any evidence to show that say like Americans, for example, don't know that what they're eating? So let's say if it's like a burger, they don't know that they were eating a living cow.
Well, let's make sure he's audible first. Tristan, are you able to check your mic?
It's really hard to hear you. You're like really muffled.
But as an additional note, I'm actually fine if you think there's like an innate moral sense. Like if you do like the foundationless kind of thing, I'm actually fine with that. As long at least
I would be fine with that too.
What do you mean?
We can't understand you.
It's really muffled. Like it's not that you're not coming through. It's just it's really unclear. I don't know what he said.
I think he'll be back. It's probably like I don't know. Maybe the bus that he's on has windows open because that was a lot of wind.
Yeah, I don't think it's his fault. He's just having a bit of a transportation issue. So in the meantime, like, what else is gonna get said here?
What else is what?
I said, what else is gonna get said here?
I feel like I'm pretty sure that this is going to, like, I think Cuddle summed it up really well. That this is going to go into a conversation about, like, wow.
Tristan, that is really bad, to be honest. I don't know if you can hear any of us or not.
We can hear everybody on the bus who's with you.
Yeah, I turned off the noise suppression thinking that might help you hear me, but it probably wasn't worth it.
It's
made it worse.
It's not good at the moment, Trysten. Gotta be
Yeah, I
honest
feel
with
like
you.
it's actually like kind of worse.
I'll probably just not be able to talk.
We'll probably be here for a minute, so
Yeah,
wherever you
yeah,
end up, you
just
might still be here.
Yeah, pick it up later or something. It's fine.
Yes. Yeah, in about an hour.
Oh wait,
Alright,
actually, that
no
sounded
worries.
okay.
Yeah, that did.
Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Oh, did he go? No, he's still here.
Yeah, but like I said, researching about justification I think would be very helpful.
Yeah.
Because
There's something you said,
concerned.
Cuddles. Well, there's something you said. Oh yeah, you said there's something you said about everyone else being uneducated, but this specific group being educated.
Well, yeah. Well, what did I think I said something about. Yeah, I think I said something about like vegans may point out about non-vegans being uneducated regarding certain ethical points, but vegans are usually just as uneducated. And I think I've also mentioned that it could be circular if you're saying that like if you truly knew, you would go this, because then all that just kind of becomes unfalsifiable. Just like, well, they don't truly know, because if they did, they would be vegan, and therefore the fact that they're not vegan means they don't truly know. So it's like,
well, it's just baked in that like being vegan means that you properly understood and were educated in the correct way, right? And that you had a proper understanding of it. So yeah, it is just circular in that way.
Yeah, like the one true compassion, yada yada yada.
Yeah, there's only one logical disposition you can have when you're properly educated.
Oh yeah, Patty, can you name the trait?
Oh my God, Silent, go away. Yeah, the trait is me. The trait is me.
That wasn't a serious question, was it?
No, Silent is my friend from the politics server.
Oh, okay, I remember.
Wait, which one? Is it like the Nazi politics server or like?
Oh no, no wait. There are
Yes.
no Nazis on the politics.
There is no war in Bossing Say.
Does
Is it the
anyone
one that
actually
records
wanna-
everything and posts it?
Because
Sorry,
I've been on
sorry,
a
Joe.
politics server, or at least one of those called politics, and there was like so many reactionaries there. So many
There are a
times
lot of reactionaries on that server, yes.
Yeah, there's like a lot.
Why are you so loud?
Yeah, that makes sense then. Who is it? Like, was it Cubs?
Wait, Patty, what was the name of that guy that I was like BTFOing a week ago or something on the server, and he was really mad? What was his name again?
that was Credit. We were talking to Credit.
Oh man, I want to talk to that guy again. That was funny.
Wait, what were we talking to Credit about?
So basically it was about solutions that actually work. It's basically that, like good
Well,
activism.
they're having a basically like a you should go vegan because the environment type argument, and I was explaining how, like trying to convince everyone to like go vegan or like quit meat cold turkey as a society will actually be less effective than incremental change.
Oh yeah.
And he
Okay,
was
there's a lot of angles about that.
he was molding that all of his points got BTFO'd.
Oh. Yeah, that's interesting because usually I approach those for like the more capitalist angles. Like I of course you don't have to